CIET NCERT presents AudioBook, Maths Mela, Textbook of Mathematics for Grade 5.
Chapter number 15, Data Through Pictures. Page number 179. On the right side of the page, you are provided with a QR code, scanning which you can reach out to the additional resources to this chapter. We can also find a picture of a girl writing on a notebook about some data. Child TV reporter. Samaira and Kabir decided to act like reporters and collect information from their friends. In the first picture, there is a TV screen with an anchor presenting today's report, and 4 children are watching the same. In the next picture, there are 4 kids standing, and Samaira and Kabir are acting as reporters for collecting the information. Samaira says, "How many hours a day do you spend watching TV?" They collected data from 35 friends and recorded it in a notebook as given here. In this picture, we have 35 faces and their time recorded, how much they spent while watching TV. Some have reported as 1 hour, some as 1.5 hour, some as half hour, and so on. Page number 180. Here, we are provided with a tabular column in which there are 2 columns. The first one reads number of hours spent watching TV, and the second column reads number of children. The first row has half hour, second row has 1 hour, third as 1.5 hour, fourth as 2 hours, and the last row has more than 2 hours. You are expected to write down the number of children in the corresponding blanks provided in front of them. Observe at the table and answer the following questions. First one, how many children watch TV for more than half an hour? Second, how many children watch TV for less than 2 hours? Third one, the number of children who watch TV for more than 2 hours is dash. You are expected to write down the correct answer here. Question number 4. More children watch TV for 2 hours than half an hour. True/false? We also find a picture of a girl wondering, can watching TV for a long time be harmful to the eyes? Stock taking in a shop. Joseph uncle takes stock of the play items, toys, board games, and sports items in his store a week before the summer break. He tries to record the items in his shop using a pictograph. We can find picture of Joseph uncle wondering here, how can I show these with pictures? He notices that there are too many items of each kind in his shop, and it is not easy to make a picture for every item. There's a clue provided here in a cloud. Suggest some ways to him. Page number 181. Deepesh, one of his helpers, suggested using one picture, that is icon, for every 5 items of each kind. 1 toy is equal to 5 toys. 1 board game is equal to 5 board games. 1 racket and shuttle equal to 5 sports items. His pictograph is given here. There are 2 columns. The first column reads about the name of the item, and the second column is for number of items. For toys, we have 8 toys represented in front of this column, And for board games, we have 10 board games in front of the board games column. For sports items, there are 12 rackets and shuttles in front of the sports item. Deepesh used a scale while recording the items in the pictograph. A scale helps record a large number of things using fewer icons. Now answer the following questions based on the given pictograph. First question: how many toys does Joseph uncle have? Dash. There's a blank space provided for you to write down the correct answer. Question number 2. How many board games does Joseph uncle have? Dash. You required to write down the correct answer here. Question number 3. How many total play items does Joseph uncle have? Blank space is provided for the correct answer to be written. Is there any other scale that you can use to make the pictograph? Choose your scale and represent the same data using a pictograph in your notebook. Two-wheelers on the road. Deepti noted down the number of two-wheelers passing a house in 1 hour on 3 different days. She used one icon, one scooter, to show 3 two-wheelers. There's a picture of Deepti and a two-wheeler scooter. A man is riding on the same. Page number 182. We find a tabular column here, a pictograph in which 2 columns are there. First column represents day and the second represents number of two-wheelers. And to scale, one scooter is equal to 3 two-wheelers is also represented here. On Monday, we find 8 scooters in front of Monday. On Wednesday, we have 4 scooters. On Friday, we have 12 scooters represented here. Observe the pictograph and answer the following questions. Question number 1. Which day had the most two-wheelers passing her house? Dash. There's a blank space provided for the correct answer. Question number 2. How many total two-wheelers did she record over 3 days? Dash. There's a blank space provided for you to write down the correct answer. Question number 3. How many fewer two-wheelers were seen on Wednesday than on Monday? Dash. There's a blank space provided here. Question number 4. How many more two-wheelers were seen on Friday than on Wednesday? There's a blank space provided here. Question number 5. Choose any other scale and represent the same data using a pictograph in your notebook. Recording a day. One day, Raman and Sheila decided to record how they spent their day. Raman recorded his daily routine in the table given here. We have a tabular column which has 2 columns. One is for activities and other is for number of hours, in which one blue square is equal to 1 hour is indicated. The first one is time spent sleeping. We have 9 squares in front of this column. Second, time in school is 6 blue squares. Time spent studying has 2 blue squares. Next, time spent eating and playing has 6 blue squares. For the last row, other activities, we have only 1 blue square indicating 1 hour. Page number 183. Sheila recorded her routine in the following manner. Sheila is visible in the picture. She says, I have represented the number of hours spent on each activity by a vertical bar. We find a picture of a bar graph in which vertical line is representing the number of hours. Horizontal lines forms the base for different activities, and the bars indicate how much time is spent on each activity. We have various activities represented here like sleeping, time in school, studying, eating and playing, and other activities. Sleeping is indicated for 8 hours by a bar, and time in school is represented for 7 hours with the help of the bar graph. For studying, the bar graph represents 4 hours, and for eating and playing, the number of hours represented with the help of bar is 3 hours, and for other activities, the time represented is 2 hours. How is Sheila's recording different from Raman's recording? Discuss in class. Sheila's way of recording the data is called a bar graph. Observe Raman's and Sheila's routines and answer the following questions. Question number 1. Whose daily routine represents more time spent on sleeping? Dash. You are expected to fill up the correct answer. Question number 2. Who spends more hours in the school? There's a blank space provided here to write down the correct answer. Question number 3. How many more hours does Sheila spend studying compared to Raman? Write down the answer in the blank space provided. Question number 4. Is there any activity on which they spend the same amount of time? If yes, name the activity. There is a blank space provided for the answer. Question number 5. Based on their data, whose routine do you think is more balanced? Why? Write down the answer in the blank space provided. Day in my life. Record your daily routine within brackets 24 hours in hours and minutes as necessary. Note the time spent on activities like sleeping, studying, playing, eating, and others. Page number 184. There are 2 columns provided here. In the first, we have activity, and in the second column, we have number of hours. The activity is sleeping, then time in school, third is studying, next is eating. We are also provided with 2 more rows for you to write down the activity and fill up the number of hours for all these activities against them. Make a bar graph of the time you spent on different activities in the spaces provided here. We also have a blank graph for the bar graph to be represented here with horizontal base as sleeping, time in school, studying, eating, and 2 more activities to be written and filled up for making the bar graph and representing the number of hours in the vertical line. Whose index finger is longer? Cut long paper strips from waste paper. Give 1 strip each of the same width to each of your friends. Now, put the paper strip on your index finger and tear off the extra strip extending above your fingers. Paste these paper strips along the horizontal line in the given bar graph. On this page, towards the right, we have picture of a hand with index finger and thumb extended. We can also observe the paper strips placed along the index finger. Page number 185. Paste the strips in the space given here. On this page, we have a bar graph. Along the vertical line, there are markings in centimeters as 1 centimeter, 2 centimeter, up to 10 centimeters. On the horizontal line, we have space for pasting the paper strips of your friend along the line on the given bar graph, and you're also supposed to write down their names in the blank spaces provided. Write the answers to the following questions based on your graph in the blank spaces provided. First, whose index finger is the longest? Dash. Second, the length of the longest index finger is dash centimeters. Third, the smallest index finger is dash centimeter long. Fourth, it belongs to dash. Food wastage in the school canteen. Rani stays in a residential school. Her school's dining hall displays the amount of food wasted and the number of children the food could have fed. On the right side of the page, we have picture of a notice board which reads, "Take all you can eat. Eat all you take." Yesterday's food wastage was 13 kgs, which could have fed 25 people. Page number 186. Given here is the data collected over the weekdays for different food items. There is a picture of a bar graph displaying the food wastage in kg on various days from Monday to Friday. On the horizontal line, we have sandwich on Monday, and it displays 5 kg wastage on the graph. On Tuesday, we have parantha. Wastage reflected is 6 kgs. Khichdi on Wednesday. Wastage reflected is 8 kgs. Puri sabji on Thursday. Wastage represented here is 7 kgs. Idli sambar Friday. The wastage reflected is 4 kgs along the vertical line. The food wastage expressed here is in kgs. Rani was shocked to observe the data. What do you think about food wastage? How can we reduce the wastage of food? What can we do with the leftover food? Observe the given graph and answer the following questions. First, which food item had the highest amount of wastage? Blank. Second, which food item had the least amount of wastage? Blank. You need to fill up these blanks with the correct amount and item. Third, how much total food wastage was recorded in these days? Fill in the blank in the space provided. Fourth, if 1 kg of food waste can feed 3 children, how many children could have been fed with the total food wasted? There's a blank space provided for you to write down the answer. Fifth, dash day had less food wastage than dash day. Fill up the blanks with the correct answers. Sixth one, if the same food items are to be repeated next week, can you predict which food item is likely to be wasted the most? Page number 187. True or false? On this page, we find picture of 8 girls and 9 boys. These students are wearing hats. Some of them are holding books in their hand. Some are wearing glasses, and some students have backpacks. Observe the given picture carefully. Based on your observation, find out which of the following statements are true or false. First one, all girls are wearing glasses. You are supposed to tick mark for true or false in the space provided. Second, more boys are holding books than girls. Tick mark in the correct box, true or false. Third one, the number of children holding books is greater than the number of children wearing caps. There are 2 boxes provided for true or false. You need to tick mark the correct one. Fourth one, some children are wearing both glasses and caps. We have to tick mark either for true or false. Fifth one, 10 children are wearing caps on their heads. We are provided 2 boxes for true or false. You need to tick the correct one. Sixth, more than half of the children are wearing glasses. Here also, we have 2 boxes for true or false. You need to put a tick on the correct one. Seventh one, the number of boys wearing glasses is greater than the number of girls wearing glasses. Tick mark on true or false. Eighth one, there is no child who has all 3 items: a cap, a book, and a backpack. We have 2 boxes here for true or false. You need to tick mark in the correct answer. Page number 188. Some learning material sheets have been provided at the end of the book. For writing notes, we have 2 pages. Dotted square grid page, we have 1 page here. Page with fraction kits. Page with tessellation and shapes. Page with different number tokens is also provided. We also have a page with nets of icosahedron and dodecahedron. We have a page with dots, and there is also a square grid page provided for performing the activities. Here ends chapter number 15.
Maths Mela. You were just listening to this audiobook. Textbook of Mathematics for Grade 5. Narration Swarnlata Sharma. Sound recordist Virendra Rawat. Production assistant Vineet Kumar Sharma. Directed and produced by Vimlesh Chaudhary. This audiobook is brought to you by CIET NCERT, New Delhi, India.